Hello, hello. Welcome to Create with Camilla and our little Italy paint and chat. So I hope you're doing okay today. I hope you're having a great time. I'm going to get right into it because the first step that I'm going to be doing with this painting is actually going to be tracing. I have created I have a tracer for it. So I will do that, and you probably don't really need to see a whole lot of that. So today you're probably going to just watch me a little bit more. And then if we get done, because we only have a short time, and I know that I was wanting to just stick to the 20 minutes. So hopefully this will be just fine. So what I have is tracing paper, which is basically graphite paper. And I'm folding it onto, I've cut out the tracer. If you are actually interested in painting this painting with me, then you could just go to createwithcamilla.art and /Capri. And that is how you will get the tracer for this if you want to paint with me. But you may not want to do that, and that's okay. You're just kind of hanging out for a little bit, taking a break from whatever it is you're doing. If you're watching this, let me see if I can see. Yeah, the comments should be showing up here. Let me see, just making sure. Yeah, there we go. So that's it. So yay. I hope you're going to enjoy this. And I'm going to try to talk as the same time as I'm tracing. I love tracing not with a pen or pencil, but a sharp object like a skewer or even a sushi stick or something like that, the back end of a paintbrush, or a dull you could do it with a pencil because then you can actually see what you're tracing. But for me right now, the most important thing is to hang out and chat with you guys. So just going to put that down for just a second so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm just kind of tracing some of the trees, and I'm using this tool to do that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of an indication of where I want to go with this painting. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is actually something that's really exciting, and I'm so looking forward to it. It is a paint and sip trip that I'm going to be organizing. And this is the first of its kind. So I'm organizing this one in September next year. Let me just make sure I get that. There we go. So this is going to be a trip that is a 10-day trip. It is, if you haven't heard anything about this yet, I've tried to share the word, but this happens and not everybody gets the information at all times. So it is happening on the 26th of September to the 6th of October this year. So that is an exciting time to go to Italy. If you have been to Italy before, then you know that's a great time weather-wise, wine-wise. Everything's just perfect. Schools are back in session. The heat of the summer is gone. And so people can really just, enjoy. And a lot of the summertime travel, which is what the Italians do in the summertime, they travel in Italy, right? If you know anything about Italy, you know that it's true. And I have my own theory as to why that is. And that is because I think, having lived there, so my background is I've lived in Italy for 8.5 years. So I have a little bit of experience. Of course, I'm far from, fluent in Italian culture, but I kind of made some deductions when I was there. And part of what I saw and what I felt was the Italians love their food, right? Italians love Italian food. It's as simple as that. They consider that the best food in the world. And for good reason, guys. Who doesn't love a good Italian meal, right? So when they go on vacation, they're not willing to sacrifice a good cucina. They're not willing to sacrifice their good food, because if they went to strange, unusual places, then they're not going to necessarily know what they're having. They don't know what's on the menu. They don't know how it works. And they might also not be able to get it done in the same language that they're using. So this is another reason for why I think this is my own personal suggestion here. So, I might be wrong. But I think that they like to go on vacation in Italy because they get all the familiar things. They know how to navigate. They know exactly how everything works. They get their service in their own language. And oftentimes also, especially because we lived in Tuscany, so friends of ours who had family in different parts of Italy, they would actually go visit their family at times and for vacation. So that was kind of what happened there. And so it's a very family oriented culture to say. So that's kind of where it's at. And so I wanted to say that. And so I think that what the fun part, I kind of lost my train of thought as to where I was going with that. I think I was just sharing about Italy, right? And a bit of Italian culture and such. So, oh yeah, no, I know. It was because we are going there in October or September, end of September, beginning of October. So all the Italian tourists have also left. So we are looking at slightly fewer crowds, but we're looking at great weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Hopefully, fingers crossed, praying that it will be good weather. And also because 2025 is a very special year in Italy. It is the year of Jubilee. And that is a Catholic thing. So every 25 years, only once every 25 years, there are celebrations all over Italy. So for example, there is a certain door at the Basilica in Rome that is only opened by the Pope for this particular year. And it's kind of like a gesture of goodwill. And there are tons of people going on pilgrimages and attending different events, and a lot of the different dioceses, I can't even say that word. The different churches around the country have different events and different celebrations and specials, because the Catholic religion is still by far the biggest religion in Italy, and that is where the seat of the Catholic Church is in the Vatican. So just inside of Rome, that little state inside of Rome. So so it's going to be a lot of people next year. So going with somebody like me, I will help you navigate that. And that's one of the big exciting things about this trip, is we are planning everything from start to finish. So we have a package for you that you can watch or that you can go on. However, if you feel like, okay, I have been to Italy before, I am not necessarily going to want to do all the tours and do everything. We've also built in downtime, and we've built in optional tours so that people can do as much or as little as they want to. But the idea is that you are going to have a lot of the heavy lifting done for you. Now, why would you come on a trip to Italy with me? Well, I already mentioned that I used to live in Italy. We moved there, my husband and I moved there a year after we were married in our mid-30s. And both our girls are born in Italy. So I have navigated all of that system. We lived there for 8.5 years. Both of us worked in Italy. And when the girls were born, after they were born, I started to paint. And I started to paint on commissions, and we were affiliated with an American military base. So what I also started doing is I picked up something that I did during my college years. I picked up tour guiding again. So I have like a degree in tour guiding, for lack of a better word, from a community college. So I took that, and when I was in college, at university in England, I would travel around Europe with coach tours and do tour guiding to different countries from Scandinavia. So when we moved to Italy and the girls were born and I no longer worked as a consultant, I decided to take that up and contact the people, because I realized I was living in the most amazing destination. And we were living in Tuscany. So I got in touch with a few people and ended up actually planning and tour guiding at the same time, because I transferred my Scandinavian tour license over to Italy as well. So I was able to be what they call an escort. It sounds really bad, but it really is. It's just a bad Italian translation, and for lack of a better word. Accompagnatrice is the Italian word. So it's somebody who accompanies a tour. So yeah, so that's what I did. And that tour that I planned, my sort of flagship tour, for lack of a better word, was run multiple times over. I worked together with a Scandinavian tour operator, and we put it together, and it was run, I ran it for about 5 years myself. And then after that, we moved back to the United States, and that tour still continued to run. So it was a very successful tour. So fast forward, we moved to the United States, and we've been here now for 7.5 years. And thanks to COVID, we didn't go back. I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a sore throat still. I've been a little bit under the weather this week. So this is my sort of hot drink, and I'm concerned it's a little bit too hot to drink, but we'll see how it goes. So at least I'm nursing it, and it makes me feel like, okay, I can talk. So when I came to the United States, I started teaching paint parties in earnest. And my two passions are, and probably will forever be, painting and traveling. So I thought to myself, why not combine those two passions? Because I have proficiency in both of them. And I don't know if it's been done before. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But so I wanted to create a paint and sip adventure trip to Italy, going and taking you to all the places that I absolutely love and that I have taken tours to. I mean, we are going to go to some of the hotels that I've been to, but yes, a lot of things change and a lot of things are updated. So we're working with an Italian incoming tour operator, and they are handling all the hotel bookings, all of those things. And so I am very blessed with that, because the guy that I'm working with, his name is Paolo. He's from Bella Napoli. So it kind of inspired my Capri painting here. Let me show you what it's going to look like when it's done. At least that way you can kind of see what I'm going to with this. This is what it's going to look like when we are done painting it. I'll take it over a few different sessions, but I wanted to start off by having a chit chat with you. So yes. So he's doing all of that. And I want to share with you like the amazing things that he's been able to do. Now, bear in mind, this is the year of the big Jubilee. So he has secured some amazing hotels for us. A hotel in the historical district in Rome. That is, you walk 10 minutes in one direction, you're at the Spanish Steps. You walk 10 minutes in the opposite direction, and you're at the Trevi Fountain. And then you add another 5 minutes to that walk, and then you're at the Pantheon. So I'm floored, and I have visited Rome. I have taken tours to Rome. I've like guided tours in Rome and everything. And this is about as good as it gets, folks. And we've got the same in Milan. So in a nutshell, our trip is 10 nights, starts in Milan, finishes in Rome. And throughout that trip, we have access to a coach, which is going to stay with us for the entire trip. We are staying at 4-star hotels. We have breakfast included. Dinners, we probably are, for the most part, dinners you might be doing on your own, or you might be hanging out with us. We might be going out together, but the dinners are basically for at your own expense and such. But we always work things out. This is a small group. This is going to be probably about 20, maybe 25 people. So I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to be heard, be seen, and do what they want to do. So we are weaving our way from Milan down to the Tuscan coastline and staying there. And then we're weaving through places like Lucca, and we're going into Chianti. And we're staying in Chianti for 3 nights at a winery, guys. This is an old place that has vineyards and wineries everywhere, and you want to be able to explore and enjoy all those things. And then, of course, we're going to offer a trip, day trip into Florence, and do all those things that you kind of want to do in Florence and need to do. And then we're going down to Val d'Orcia, which is in sort of southern Tuscany, south, just halfway between Florence and Rome, pretty much. So we're going to see that scenery, and then we're going down to Rome. And all these places that we're staying at 2 nights in one place. There are 2 exceptions. We're staying 3 nights in Chianti, and therefore we're only staying 1 night in Pienza in Val d'Orcia. But all the other places you have 2 nights, because I know from experience how important it is to unpack your suitcase and to just be able to relax a little bit and enjoy. And so some of these days you can have down days, or you can join our extra excursions. Now, if you are interested in any of those things, just find out what they are, what's happening, then you can go to bit.ly/tell me about Italy. It's as simple as that, bit.ly/tell me about Italy. And you'll pop up onto my webpage for all those things. So I know that I'm coming out of the blue. You may not know me. You may never have painted with me, and you might not have seen me before much at all. But I wanted to show you how it works when I do a paint party. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to address any questions that you guys might have as you're thinking about, is this for real? Is this definitely something that I want to do? So if you're thinking about, if you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, yeah, I kind of wanted to go to Italy, but I'm going to wait it out. I'm not going to go right now because you never know. I might not have the money, or this and that, the other. I don't have vacation time. I want you to think about how you're going to feel a couple of years down the line when you are thinking back and you're going, oh, that was an opportunity for me to go to Italy, and I would have been able to have everything kind of handled for me, and with somebody who actually knows all the places to go, who's been there, done that, speaks the language, because yes, I mean, I gave birth in Italian. So sorry, TMI, but yes. So if you are even thinking about coming on a personally curated trip with me, I have the experience, I have the know-how, I have the connections. I am not a travel agent. So that is why we're working with an incoming travel agent in Italy. And another thing too, it doesn't matter. I have people coming on this trip from Florida, from Tennessee, from New York, from Arizona, from South Carolina, which is where I'm based. So of course, but what the fun part of it is we're all going to get together in Italy, and we're all going to create amazing, amazing memories of what we're doing. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I know that it was a lot about Italy right now and a lot about the trip, but I wanted to give you a background. And then we're going to do this on Monday as well. I think we're going to try to do a 10 a.m. in the morning, East Coast time. I know that's super early for the West Coasters, but you can always watch the replay. And then I promise you, we will paint. All right. Take care.